Hello everyone and welcome back to our next video. So today we're talking to you about Baja. I'm down here at Playa Requesón on the Bay of Conception, and I just thought I'd give you guys a quick update on anything new and different about Baja this year. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some things to do, places to see, things like that. So I do highly recommend going back. I've done 2 other videos over the years about Baja. I definitely recommend going back, taking a look at those so that you have all the information in case I missed something today. So the beginning of this video, I'm just gonna go over real quickly the things you need to prepare for, things you can expect, some best practices, but then I'm gonna go into those places to see, things to do, things of that nature. So, and with that, let's just get right into it. So before you even cross the border, there's a little bit of homework you guys need to do. First and foremost, you're gonna wanna make sure your passport is up to date. So you absolutely have to have a passport to come down here. So the next thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna check your car insurance needs. Down here in Mexico, you absolutely have to have liability insurance. You can call your carrier in the US to see if by chance they will cover you for collision or comprehensive, but I know my policy did not, and so I went ahead and got the liability insurance down here as well as a collision comprehensive insurance. The next thing you're going to want to do is you want to check your cell phone coverage and make sure that your plan allows you to work down here in Mexico. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that your credit cards work down here as well as your debit card. The easiest way to get money down here is going to an ATM down here in Mexico, putting in your debit card and drawing money out. It'll give you your money in pesos. Now, and the final thing I'll say about the preparations for coming down here are there are a lot of items that you cannot cross over and have down here. The most obvious is guns, ammunitions, drugs. Don't bring those things down here whatsoever. You're just asking for trouble. I prefer to caravan, quite honestly. Do you need to? No, it's fine. I like caravanning. To me, it's nice to have between maybe 2 and 3 other rigs joining you. If you get too many more than that, it's really hard to caravan to keep you guys all together. But with like, let's say 2 other vehicles, it's nice because if you do break down, you can have one car stay with the broken down car and the other car goes for help. You have a lot more options. Now, when you come down here for camping, there are free camping options down here. But the majority of the places you're gonna stay will, if it's on the beach, it's gonna be around $10 or $15 a night. And if you're in a campground, something that's, you know, has hookups, things like that, you're looking at anywhere between $15 and $25 a night. It can get higher than that, but that is kind of the low end of things. Places like this down here, this was $12 a night camping. All the other stuff is just kind of prepping what has always happened in the past, but I'm gonna give you guys now some current conditions. So again, this is December 2025, rolling into 2026 very soon. And one of the big concerns in the past has been road conditions. 2 years ago, the roads were kind of bad. Last year, they were atrocious. We were a little curious about coming down here this year, what the conditions were gonna be. They have been great. They have done a lot of work over the last year, repairing the roads, resurfacing them, fixing potholes. They are so much better. You still gotta be careful. You still have to look out for those places that, you know, there might be a random pothole here and there, or a tope or things like that, but generally speaking, the conditions are great. All right, so the next update I want to give you is banking down here. What we did is we went to San Felipe, which is just a couple hours south of the border, south of Mexicali. We had no problem getting pesos there. We went to the grocery store, they had ATM there, it was great. But once you get to Mulaje, which is on the Bay of Conception, then you run into a little bit of problems. They say you can drive back an hour to Santa Rosalia to get an ATM, but I haven't done that, and Santa Rosalia is not the easiest town to drive around in. Very narrow streets, very congested. Then going down to Loreto, we had a little bit of an issue down there. We went to the grocery stores down there to the ATMs, and only 1 out of 4 of us could pull money out. We're still not sure why. We don't know if it ran out of money, if there was some other issue, but it did not like our cards. There was another bank, BBVA, which I could get money out of there, but it was a 200 peso charge for you to withdraw money. That's like $12. And I didn't want to spend that $12 just on fees. And so I was able to find another bank, I think it was called Azteca, that I was able to, and it was only like a $5 fee. And that's the other thing to keep in mind is that when you are taking money out, I recommend doing a little bit higher amounts at a time. Don't go and get $20, $50, $100 at a time because you're paying the same fee no matter what. So I usually get bigger chunks, like maybe $200, $300, $400 out. So then I only have that fee one time. Now, another quick update I wanted to give you guys are gas stations. So most of the gas stations are now credit card accepting. Not all of them, but most of them are. So that's a good thing, right? But I did get ripped off. You got to pay attention to these things. And so the best practice is always making sure it's zeroed out before they start pumping. That's fine. And then once they end pumping, you look at the numbers and then they type it into their keypad, their credit card machine, and you want to just make sure those numbers match. Also, get a receipt. That is hugely important because here's a situation that happened to me. So I got a receipt for 2,400 pesos for the diesel that we bought. That's fine, that was correct. When it went through my bank, it had jumped to 3,400 pesos. They charged me 1,000 pesos extra somewhere in the background. My receipt still said 2,400, but when it got transferred to my American bank, it said 3,400. So I was able to dispute it and I'm able to get my money back. But if I didn't have that receipt, then I don't know if they would have given me my money back. And so always get a receipt, make sure you do that. And check it to your bank. I always have alerts on my credit cards, on my apps, and so it lets me know what charge came through and how much it was. Okay, I talked to you about all the ins and outs, things to prepare to come down here, an update on conditions, things of that nature. Now let's get into the fun things. What to do down here and where to go. So when we're talking about this stuff, I will say the internet is your friend. I would recommend getting on some Facebook groups. There's Talk Baja is one of the ones that I joined because you can get road conditions, you can get things to do, you can get updates. Very, very handy to have. All right, now as for things to do down here, one of my favorite things to do is just be on the beach. I brought my stand-up paddleboard down here. You can bring a kayak. I definitely recommend, if you like the water, bring snorkel, fins, and mask because there's some amazing marine life down here that you can go through the water and see. And it's cheap, it's free, right? You just paddle out, you get in the water, and you look at stuff. It's wonderful. And so I highly recommend it. It's harder to buy that stuff down here, so bring your own. I got a cheap set off of Amazon for 30 or 40 bucks. Now, another really cool thing to do down here is whale watching. Now that happens January, February, March. So during the time that we're here, they weren't down here yet. But if you go over to the Pacific side and you can just look up gray whale watching during those months, January, February, March, and it is an unbelievable experience. You're on a small boat, you're going out in the bay, and these gray whales just come up to you and they look at you and they go right up next to the boat. You can sometimes even go down and you can touch them. It is an unreal experience. Another thing you can do down in La Paz, you can swim with the whale sharks and you can also swim with the sea lions. Now these are not cheap things to do, but if you're looking at those once in a lifetime opportunities, I would recommend it. I've been coming down here for 25 years and this is the first time I've ever done it. And I would say it is absolutely worth it. So you are swimming right alongside this 30-foot whale shark, which is neither a whale nor a shark. It's actually just a big fish, but it was an unbelievable experience. Now, another cool thing you can do while you're down here is almost every place on the water has boat tours that they offer. In the Bay of Conception area, you can basically get a boat tour just throughout the bay. They take you to different snorkeling spots. You can kind of pick your own a la carte style and they will take you wherever you want to go. And it's just a cool way to see different areas and from the water point of view. If you go down to Loreto, you can go down a tour to Isla Coronado, which is kind of a marine preserve. That was pretty incredible. It ends up being about $40 or $50 a person to go on this trip, and it's about 4 hours long. And what they do is they take you out, you get to see a bunch of sea lions, some blue-footed boobies, which are a bird, which a lot of people get excited about. And then they take you to a beach and you can hang out on the beach for 2-3 hours, whatever you choose. And from there you can snorkel, hang out. It's a really, really good experience and it's just fun to be out on the water. Of the times I've done it, we've always seen dolphins except for this time. We did not see dolphins, but it was still a wonderful experience and I highly recommend it. Now down in Cabo, we also did a boat tour. Now, I will say Cabo is not my jam. I did not love it as far as it's just a very busy touristy town. And so it's not high on my list, but we did find cheap camping, which is just a parking lot right near the beach, no facilities whatsoever, but it was something like 10 bucks a night. And it gives you access to the beaches. Now, the beaches are just cluttered with people. And again, not my thing, but for $15 a person, you can go on a glass bottom boat and they will take you out to the arch at the end of the peninsula. They just show you the different areas from the boat. It's about an hour boat ride, maybe 45 minutes, but they can also drop you off on a beach. And so you can go snorkeling or just hang out on the beach, and then they'll come and pick you up. And that's included in the $15 a person. So I thought it was a great deal, and I saw some amazing fish down there. I brought my own snorkel gear, so I was covered with that, so I didn't have to pay anything extra. And it was just such a cool experience. Now, a couple other things that are the highlight reel for me is in Loretto, you have the Malecon, which is right along the water. It's a beautiful walk. Just walking that in the mornings is quite lovely. And then there's also the town square, which is just very historic, very beautiful, and it's just a nice place to hang out and walk in the evenings. And then also, if you get down as far as La Paz, there is another Malecon right along the water. Tons of like statues, things like that. And again, it's one of those things to just experience. Add that one to your list as well. It's just something to do. Now, if you're more into the adventurous side of things, I'll give you a couple other quick tidbits. If you go to Cerritos, which is a beach just south of Todos Santos, they're known for having a good learner's beach for surfing. It has a sandy bottom, pretty easy break, and they have lessons. And the lessons aren't that expensive. So if you're at all interested in learning to surf, that would be a good place to go because it's just really set up for beginners. And another thing I'll talk about is Cabo Pulmo, which is almost like a national park, but in the marine area, just south of Los Barriles. It was wonderful snorkeling. I saw 4 sea turtles swimming around. It was amazing. There was tons of fish, things like that. And I think it was about $5 to enter for the day. You just bring your own snorkel gear. You can get a guided tour down there. I just did the part where I could just self-guide, and it was still an incredible experience. So that was my list of things to do, places to see down here. I will film the ending of this video once I cross back over the border to give you guys the most up-to-date experience of crossing back into the United States. So we'll have that next. Okay, so I made it back to Quartzsite, Arizona, and I just want to give you guys a real quick update on what it was like coming back through the border. And I have to say, wow, this was the easiest one I've done by far. So granted, it was the Saturday after Christmas, so that could have affected it. It was around like 11 in the morning, but we waited for 15 minutes. That was it. I was so impressed. Now, the crossing we did was in San Luis, which is just south of Yuma, and that's a border that we crossed over at as well. And I have to say, that's a really good border crossing. It is very small, and it's just very simple. And so that's my newest favorite location to cross over, and so I just want to give you guys a real quick update on that. Now, I also wanted to let everyone know that at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous this year, at 2026, myself and Baja Frank will be presenting on Baja Travels. So it's going to be at 10 in the morning on Sunday, January 11th. So if you're around, if you're at the RTR, please show up, come on by, say hi, listen to our presentation. We're gonna have a lot of information, and Baja Frank has been going down there for years, so he is a very valuable resource, so I hope you guys can join us there. All right, so that wraps up today's video, and what did you guys think? Was this information helpful? Did you like the updates? Did you like the places to go see and do? It's a little different than my previous videos, so I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Please let me know in the comments below. And if you have a favorite place in Baja, let us know. Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear about that. If you got anything out of today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, share it with friends. Until next time, we'll see you down the road. So long.